There are people who never post photos on social media. You never see their face. You never see their special moments. You never see a curated version of their life on display. And most people label them instantly: cold, distant, insecure, antisocial. But here's the truth most people miss. That silence is often not a lack. It's a conscious choice. Psychology shows that some people choose not to be visible, not because they have nothing to show, but because they don't need other people's attention, approval, or validation to feel valuable. While most people try to exist by sharing, they choose not to. And that choice points to something far stronger than it looks from the outside: a solid inner world. If you've ever wondered, why don't I post? Or if you know someone like this, what you're about to hear might completely change how you see them. 1. Privacy over popularity. Think about people who constantly post on social media. Every moment is documented: where they are, who they're with, what they're doing. But some people don't live that way. They don't put their lives on display. And contrary to what many assume, this isn't insecurity. Psychology suggests that these individuals place a high value on privacy. They consciously control what others know about them and what they get to see. They're not antisocial. They're protective of their mental space. While many people rely on likes, comments, and views to feel worthy, these people handle that internally. They don't need to announce their life to feel good about it. They're less concerned with what others think and more focused on how they actually feel. And that's something powerful, even if it goes unnoticed: inner security. 2. Strong self-awareness. People who share less online often have one thing in common: they don't discover who they are through other people's reactions. Psychology calls this self-awareness. Knowing your values, your boundaries, what actually matters to you. Instead of asking, "How do I look?" they ask, "How does this feel to me?" That's why they don't chase trends easily. While everyone else is following what's popular, they pause and ask, "Is this really me, or is it just being pushed on me?" They don't define themselves by comparison. They don't collect external approval to understand their identity. Their happiness doesn't rise and fall with engagement metrics because their reference point isn't the outside world, it's internal. And here's the simple truth: the better someone knows themselves, the less power other people's opinions have over them. 3. Emotional security. The constant need to be seen online rarely comes from confidence. It usually comes from a hunger for approval. But for people who post less, the dynamic is different. Their confidence isn't dependent on attention. Psychology calls this emotional security, the ability to feel valuable without holding on to other people's validation. They don't post selfies to prove their worth because there's already a sense of wholeness inside. They don't search for signals to see if they're liked. Their mood doesn't shift when engagement drops. As a result, they tend to be less anxious, less approval seeking, more focused on real life. This shows up in relationships too. They're not the ones who fall apart when attention fades. They remain steady even when it's not given. And let me be very clear about this. When someone doesn't need constant visibility, that's not emptiness. That's emotional balance. 4. Not show-offs, but deep thinkers. People who stay quiet on social media are often misunderstood. It's easy to assume they have nothing to say. In reality, it's often the opposite. They think before they speak. And before they post, they ask themselves, does this actually matter? They're not driven by attention. They speak when something feels meaningful. Psychology refers to this as an internal evaluation system. They judge themselves by their own standards, not applause. Surface-level interactions don't satisfy them. Instead of repeating what everyone else is saying, they prefer to say something real. Their silence in crowds isn't withdrawal, it's selectivity. And you start to notice something interesting. The quietest people often say the most when they finally speak. Showmanship often hides emptiness. Depth, on the other hand, lives in silence. 5. They understand the digital illusion. Social media doesn't show reality. It shows selected moments of reality. People who share less understand this deeply. Psychology calls this social comparison, comparing your ordinary life to other people's highlight reels. And over time, that comparison quietly drains you. These people don't play that game. They don't compare their kitchen to someone else's showcase window because they know not every post reflects truth. Not every smile means happiness. Not every silence means something is missing. So they choose to stay low-key. They don't hand their minds over to endless comparison loops. They choose balance over performance, reality over perception, peace over approval, and maybe most importantly, They live in a world where they don't feel the need to prove themselves. So the next time you notice someone who never posts their photos, don't assume they're shy or distant. They might simply not need visibility to express who they are. While many people try to exist through likes, some people don't need that at all because they don't outsource their identity to other people's approval. Not needing to be seen to feel seen, that's quiet, grounded confidence. And real confidence isn't what gets shared the most. It's what needs the least. If you enjoy understanding why people think and behave the way they do, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. You can also follow us on Instagram and TikTok through the links below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.